for our call. So
yes. I appreciate you doing that. So no, so thank you.
Brice,
you're welcome.
when I called Tom earlier, I called. In fact, I called you first because you were hosting the show, our talk, and to ask you if we could do the decode on this topic. And when I called, and in the meantime, I called Tom.
Are you recording now, Anna?
I've hit record, yeah, but I can edit stuff out if you want me to. But yeah, I just hit record.
Okay, let me just get it up. That sounds a bit cheeky, doesn't it? Let me just...
No, that's perfect.
I know it's perfect, Anna. Okay, cool. Well, you can just play it as it is, girls. That's fine. That's all right.
Okay. So I was talking to Brice to do this decode. Then I called Tom to suggest him this topic for our decode, and he said that's the topic that I will bring in, Anna. So
yes.
Yeah. And you know the funny thing is, I'm the only American here, and I had forgotten that the Super Bowl was this weekend because I don't watch football. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. Yes, let's do the Super Bowl.
Yes, because I think
I've forgotten as well. I got a message yesterday on a group I'm in, and it was brought up, and the person reminded me. I was like, oh, good. Okay. So I then did some decodes on it, and then Anna asked me, and then I'd got some. So one of the sources of decodes, Brice, that I use is numbers are everywhere, letters are everywhere, words are everywhere. So one of the ones that I use is I go to the newspapers, the tabloid newspapers, and maybe I don't know what are the ones in America. You've got a National Enquirer, but it's not necessarily that. It's the daily ones. So it's big, bold headlines. I'll show you some pictures, but they're very good for sources of proper information because the higher dimensions are communicating through everything. Yeah. And so when you see the front of the paper and also the back of the paper, it's like a personal text message. I can't see you, Brice. Where are you?
Oh, I'm move? In the right.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Okay, yeah, that's cool. So anyway, so there were some that have come up today for the Super Bowl. So I wanted to bring those to people's attention in today's. And when Anna asked me, I was like, yes, there's plenty here. So
let's explain to everyone.
Yes.
I'm the bridge builder. So I want to introduce my two friends, Tom and Brice in Atlanta, and Tom.
And are you in Atlanta, Brice?
I am in Atlanta.
Okay, nice. What, Georgia?
Yep. Right where all the fraud happened in the recent
Georgia.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm right in the middle of Atlanta. So right smack dab in the middle of Atlanta, right where all of the we'll call it the November 3rd competition, where all the fraud happened.
There you go.
I'm sure my vote got switched. So
probably
sure. Fulton County. Probably, yes.
Probably, yes. So because of the Super Bowl, as a Brazilian, I suggested to bring this topic up on our decode because I do believe that everything is being revealed, but not as clear, but only to those who try and want to understand. And based on a few posts that a special person that Tom will bring the name in a few minutes, based on her posts, I decided this should be the topic for us to bring because the Super Bowl will bring a lot of TVs on and a lot of TVs on all over the world.
Yep.
On is a good word, Anna. On.
Oh, okay.
On 29. On comes to Diana.
Oh, you see?
Princess Diana on.
Game
so
on.
She's involved in this as well, which we'll talk about. So.
And I know I'm a huge fan of yours, Tom. I've watched a lot of your stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. I was so excited when Anna messaged me and was like, I was like, yes, I want to do it with him. So I understand, just for my audience watching, normally my channel is like storytelling, and I try to talk about what's happening now through historical stuff that's also happened, because it's always the same people. But you work with a gematria, right? Where the alphabet A to Z is numbers 1 through 26, right? Where every letter, so A is 1, B is 2, so forth, so that my audience understands where you're getting these numerical values from with these words. Yes.
Perfect. Very well explained. You did that very well.
Well, math is not my strong suit, so
you described very succinctly, probably quicker than I would describe. That's perfect. I think I might use that way of saying it, actually.
But you should tell your audience, just let me a quick detail. After your audience get into Tom's decodes, you will see the decodes everywhere. Yes. From now on, from this moment on, everyone pay attention. You will see the decodes everywhere. You'll be brought to this wonderful world of decodes that are messaging us with the truth. So we just have to pay attention and to follow, and to follow our heart and to get the information. What we are doing is exactly like this. We are connected by the hearts. So numbers are only a way to decode those hearts related. So bring it on, game on for you, Tom.
Yes, okay. Let's talk about the Super Bowl.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Brice. Okay, so there's a lot to this, so I'll go through it. As well as a follow-up, maybe Brice's viewers and Anna's viewers, if you go to my channel, which is Psych.Club, PSYCH, next word, Club, CLUB, on YouTube, you'll see an episode I did with a friend of mine called Mark Atwood on his show.
We were just talking about him.
There you go. So you know Mark, and we did a lot. We did quite a bit on other things, but we did a piece on the Super Bowl as well. So there might be more extras that you can get, like an extra. Once we've done this today, you might want to follow up on that and say,
I'll tag
say hello in the comment, like and subscribe.
I'll tag.
Sorry.
I'll tag your channel in the description box below for everybody as well, so they can just click over to you.
Thank you. Vice versa, I'll do that for you and do that for Anna for sure. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into it. There's a few things with the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, or the two words Super Bowl, comes to 131. Okay, 131. When you write it down, well, you have the value, but if you write this name down, it comes also to 131, which is John F. Kennedy.
Okay.
Yes. So Super Bowl comes to John F. Kennedy. Okay, 131. Also, Michael Pompeo comes to 131.
Love him.
Well.
Love him.
Yes. Pompeo, what a great name he has. I'm sure he was a major general leader in the past. So if you're listening, sir, thank you. So 131. And we're going to tie this into some films as well, particularly Back to the Future, the series, and also the Batman series, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. So at the very end, if people haven't seen it, you can always get the link. We could share it in the links after, etc. But at the very end of Back to the Future 3, I'll just recap. So Back to the Future is a movie franchise about time travel. And they travel, the magic point to change time, they have to go 88 miles per hour. 88, the way that Brice described it on the board, 88 equals the word Trump. T is 20, R is 18, U is 21, M is 13, P is 16, Trump. They go at 88 miles per hour to change time, okay? And there's the whole Baron Trump book about time travel. There's also the Time Travel series by Jetson White on YouTube, which I'd recommend people watch. And Jetson, if you're listening, hello, buddy, or hello, ma'am, whoever you may be. But if you go to the end of Back to the Future 3, they're on a train, okay? and they're about to go over a chasm, over a ravine, and they need to change timelines. They need to go forward in time so they don't fall off the edge of the ravine. That's not ruining the story. That's just, that's just what's happening. But the interesting thing with that is the train. Let me see if I can find a picture of this. I think I can. The train, guess what the number of the train is?
88.
88.
Close. You're thinking right, girls. The one before that we discussed, the Super Bowl, John F. Kennedy. 131, yes. So 131 is the number of the train right at the end of the Back to the Future movie. I do have let me see if I can just very quickly pull this up. Trying to think who I've sent it to. Okay. Might be here. Let's have a look.
Have you noticed, guys, that we are all in greens today? Oh. I am in green. You are in military green. And it's
there we go.
Sweden, green.
Green for go.
Go. Yeah.
Go. Go, a green light.
Green light.
Yes, very well spotted, Anna. And the other thing with green, the word green comes to 49. 49 comes to a few things. It comes to the word yes, comes to XLM, which is a stellar cryptocurrency, but also it comes to the word bolt, a bolt of lightning. A bolt of lightning is mentioned in the Back to the Future films, and we're going to discuss that in a little while. Let me see if I've got this. I do have it somewhere. Where is it? Bear with me, audience and ladies.
So the Super Bowl is kind of the thing for the US audience in TV.
It is probably football in American football.
Yes.
Not soccer, but we call what other people call football, we call soccer, and then American football would be equivalent to England's rugby. But it's like the lifeblood of most Americans. And the Super Bowl is like the NFL, which is the National Football League. In the South where I'm from, people get more into like college football, which is like university, like University of Georgia. But the NFL, like the Atlanta Falcons are here in Atlanta. The Super Bowl was in Atlanta a couple of years ago, I think.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we don't watch sports. So when it was here, it was crazy here in Atlanta. Atlanta is also a huge hub for the Illuminati. Lots of tunnels under Atlanta. We have the Georgia Guidestones right outside of Atlanta.
And during the Super Bowl is one of the days that the trafficking of children is massive, right? One of the nights, I'm sorry.
When
is it really?
Yeah, in Atlanta, when it was going on, like I live right in the middle of the city, so we can walk everywhere, which isn't common for most cities besides New York and some other cities in America. America's a big driving country, but we were getting alerts on our phone not to call Ubers because women were going missing on calling Ubers, disappearing.
Here you go, ladies. Okay, so I found it. So this is the end scene of like the last 5-10 minutes of Back to the Future. Can you see?
Yeah.
There in the train. Let me see if I can blow that picture up because it's.
No, but I understand. And yesterday I got the I don't know. I was watching not a movie, but I was listening to a music. Then they said the train
there you go,
has
Can
left.
You see that clearly now?
Is already
yes,
on.
131. Yes.
131. So that's Super Bowl and John F. Kennedy and Michael Pompeo. Okay, so that is a clear marker for the Super Bowl. But let's get into. There's loads more that will tie it all together. Sorry, Anna, you were saying.
No, I was just keeping the conversation until you received the.
Here's another one. We're gonna talk. Like I said, we're gonna talk about the Dark Knight Rises as well, which is the third Christopher Nolan film. Christopher Nolan is a white hat film director. Okay. All his films are laden with Q and President Trump. Okay. So, do you remember in The Dark Knight Rises, there's a scene with an American football stadium. They're playing a game. and there's a scene where the guy is running with the ball and he scores a touchdown, but the whole of the stadium field collapses, it's imploded, it explodes, it's destroyed behind him, and he doesn't realize until he turns around at the end. Anyone familiar with that?
I have not seen the movie, but I can see that in my head. So
yeah, so this is a picture of that part. So can you see the number and the name on the shirt?
It says 86.
Ward.
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 Who's Ward, Anna?
Our dear Charlie. The one and only.
Charlie Ward.
Yes.
Our dear Charlie Ward. Now, there's some very important communications with this. The word Ward, okay, comes to 46. 46 comes to a few things. One of them is dove, okay?
Okay.
President Trump, famous picture of him when he was many years ago holding a dove.
A dove.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the sign of the dove. The sign of the dove, biblical sign of the dove, okay? 86, okay, is a few things. When you Ward, which is 46, plus 86, it comes to 132, okay? 132 is a very famous lady's name. We've just mentioned her a little while ago.
Princess Diana.
Diana, yeah. So Princess Diana comes to 132. So on the back of that football shirt, there's a clear marker, says Ward. It has multiple meanings, i.e. our friend Charlie Ward, etc. But plus 86 comes to 132, which is Princess Diana. Me and David Mahoney did a great piece on Princess Diana just a few days ago. And there's some big communications with her in regards to Q. If you do the name Diana Spencer, okay, Diana comes to 29. Terminator 2 talks about switching everything on at August 29. So 29 is important. 29 represents a lot of things. It represents the word on, also represents the word Diana. Spencer comes to 80. 29 plus 80 comes to 109. Yes, you got it. 109 comes to a few things. My channel, Psych.Club, comes to 109. Zapruder, the JFK film, comes to 109. Diana Spencer comes to 109. And the word 17 comes to 109. Okay. So you can see how all of this starts. And the first person that prompted me in regards to Q and 17 was I was thinking about Princess Diana, and something told me to look up her funeral service online. And if you look online, you can go on Wikipedia and you can see the time that it starts. It started at 9:08 in the morning. 9 plus 8 is 17. Q.
Very strange time to start a funeral too.
Exactly, Brice. A very, very strange time. So Princess Diana, her burial plot at Althorpe is a circle on an island with a kind of squirrel for a path. It looks like a Q. Then I thought of JFK Jr.'s. His is very clearly a Q. Yeah. We know that JFK Jr. and Diana met in Manhattan a year or two before she passed, and then not long, he passed a year or two after that. But one of the places they went to was Trump Tower.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. Yeah. There's a little video on YouTube. You can see it. Trump Tower is mentioned. They were trying to make it a romantic couple, like, JFK Jr. and Princess Diana. They thought it'd be a great Hollywood couple for all the magazines, etc. And so they would, the press were filming it, but Trump Tower is mentioned in that article. So we know that President Trump was great friends with JFK Jr. Anyway, so those three are big players on the board, as we know. Mm-hmm. And so early on, right at the beginning of COVID and lockdown, I realized that, and then I figured out what Q was and found the posts and started to go from there. But she was the first. Listening to President Trump every day for COVID and sensing he had it under control, everything was going to be okay. And then when I started to do research, I figured that out with Princess Diana. So anyway, it's amazing that she's come back now into this whole period. Okay.
Yeah. And also, may I jump in?
Yes.
Because you're saying that you were watching, listening to Trump. I watched Trump for real information since 1 year until now. I'm always listening to him. Everything that he says, it's deep. You can understand. It's easy. He tells you. For me, it's easy. And also another person that I want to bring the name is Kaylee McNanny. McNanny?
Kaylee. Yes, yeah.
Kaylee, and because Kaylee posted like 3 days in a row about not 3 days in a row, but this week she was super excited about the Super Bowl that it's going to be hosted in Tampa.
Tampa, yeah.
Florida, the city that she's living right now.
Yeah.
And she's super excited. She's cheering for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, it's
Buccaneers, yes.
Yeah,
Buccaneers.
Yep.
Buccaneers. And Buccaneers, it's similar to a pirate. So we have in the field tomorrow, Pirates against Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it's something that we should pay attention. It's not random.
And
nothing is random, guys.
No, nothing's random.
Tampa Bay.
What's that, Brice?
Something interesting about that area. We're down there a lot. So Tampa Bay, that whole area, they're little islands. And Scientology Center is right there too. And right in Clearwater, very close to Tampa. They're all kind of together. It would be very easy to trap people.
You see?
That. Yeah. If they had to like close off bridges, where are they going to go?
Oh.
And
watch the waters.
Watch the waters. And that's way close to Gitmo.
Yes.
Fair.
I don't know if that means anything, but there you go. Like I know that area really well. Tampa area really well. It's a bunch of islands. And so all those cities are on little islands and you take bridges to get to them. And, you know, you could just shut the bridges down.
One of her posts was she was filming the fireworks and then she films the bridge.
Whoa. Okay, we'll get this. Okay, so you've both hit something very important there. So in The Dark Knight Rises, this film with the American football player, Batman film, at the end of that film, they show how it's based in Manhattan in New York, but it's Gotham City, okay?
Yeah.
And they blow up the bridges to keep people on the island.
Yep.
Locked.
And they can't leave the island, and they're in tunnels, and they're in lockdown for like a number of months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's a lot of symbolic comparisons that can be made with that, because, like I say, Christopher Nolan is he's part of Trump's team of allies for sure. Yeah. It's the best film, you know, filmmaker. I mean, there's lots of great filmmakers, but I can't think of anyone that's better than Christopher Nolan ever. So, and I think there's a good reason for that, because of his understanding and knowledge and consciousness. So
have you checked on the stars tomorrow for the field? We have Tom Brady with who's married.
I don't even know who's performing. Like who? I don't even know anything about what's going on tomorrow.
Anna, okay? So you brought it up, so we'll put all the pieces together. But you've just brought it up. So a good friend of mine called Kathy, if you're listening, thank you for your input. So she follows a lot of my work, and she'll send me codes that she gets, and she's just a really lovely lady. She's an angel. Thank you, Kathy. So she put me onto the numbers for Tom Brady. Okay. So Tom comes to 48, which is obviously my name. It's also Zim. It's also James. It's 4-8, so you can get 8 out of it, etc. But this is really interesting. There's two things here. So the stadium that this is going to be played in Tampa is called the Raymond James Stadium. Okay, so just need to keep that in your head. Yes.
Okay.
So Tom comes to James, comes to 48, etc. So it's the Raymond comes to 90. Okay, 90 plus 48 comes to 138. Anybody know what 138 comes to?
No.
Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
Yes, the Donald Trump Stadium is the Raymond James Stadium. Okay, It also comes to revaluation. The revaluation stadium. Stadium comes to 87, which is stellar. 87 comes to truth, comes to project as well, I believe. It comes to my friend Alpa Sonia. I did an episode with Alpa just last week, and her name comes to 87 as well. So yeah, so we've got, say again, Brice?
I just said, yeah, I recognize, I watch her channel too. So
yeah. Alpa's great. So if you're listening, Alpa, hey love. So you've got the Donald Trump Stadium that's being played in, okay? Tom Brady, so Tom comes to 48, which is the same value as James, the last name of the stadium. Brady comes to 50, okay? So let me just do this here. Sorry again?
98. His name.
Yes, 98. Brady, so Brady, the word Brady comes to 50, which comes to Donald, comes to America, comes to Paul, my cousin that passed, and he's a big part of the numbers for me in this, and also my grandmother Eileen, who passed, and she's part of this as well for my numbers. So you've got Tom Brady, and it comes to 98. Do you know what comes to 98, Anna?
No.
The word independence. The word independence comes to 98. Okay. There's a place in Jackson County, Missouri, right next to Kansas City. You've got Kansas City Chiefs. Okay.
Yes.
I told you off the phone earlier, Kansas City comes to 122, which comes to the word millennium. Okay. And it's the tale of two cities. You've got Kansas City in Kansas, and just a mile or two, it's the same city. They're just two halves of the same city. You've got Kansas City in Missouri. Missouri comes to 123, which is the next one up, which is silver and gold. So the word silver is 85, gold is 38. You add them together, it comes to 123.
So let's help.
And independence is just not far, just east of it. But the other thing I was going to say about that, so just before you ask, I just want to show you this. So this was in today's DECODED, and again, Kathy gave me the numbers on Tom Brady. Now this is today's Sun newspaper. Okay, can you read that out?
The bar rate.
The bar rate.
Yes.
Okay, the bar rate.
Free card, bar rate.
The bar rate. Okay, and the bar rate comes to 33, which is Don, which is gate, but 33. Bar comes to 21, which is the shin, which is 7 times 7, etc. Well, 777, but 21. It's also the word of, but bar. Rate comes to 44, which is jacks. You think of Jack Kennedy, if you say it's jacks, it's 44. Also comes to clock, okay? So the bar clock or the bar rate, you had 33, 21, 44, it comes to 98, Tom Brady. Tom Brady is on the front of the papers in England today in the Sun newspaper, okay? Independence, Tom Brady, that's what that comes to.
Yeah.
Okay. And I got my call from my dear friend Kathy in the US earlier today, and she alerted me to the numbers. I went out and took pictures, and then I found that's why I was decoded before. So you can see how this works. So there's something, all these, not everything is pointing it. All the films are pointing to this. Mm-hmm. The newspapers today are pointing to this. There'll be ones tomorrow. We'll point to it before the game. You have a question, Anna, but I'll give you. There's some more. Oh, get this on the back, on the other side. Okay, this is the other side of the same newspaper. Mm-hmm. Breaking Bad.
Oh, we are.
Breaking Bad, the TV series. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm. Breaking Bad, when you add them together, comes to 74. 74. Well, there's two things. Breaking comes to 67, which is reset, which is exchange. Okay. Also water, you talked about follow the water, follow the reset, follow the exchange, okay? Breaking, 67, bad is 7. Add them together, it comes to 74. 74 comes to, you know this, Anna.
Yes, I know this.
So you know this one?
Yes.
74 comes to Jesus. It comes to London. It comes to President Trump's age. So he's age 74. And it also comes to point. And who's the king of pointing? President Trump. Okay. Yeah. And in the Back to the Future movies, it says 1.21 gigawatts. There's a part where Doc Brown he's talking to Marty, and he's all exasperated because the time machine won't work back in time because they don't have any plutonium. And plutonium comes to 141, which comes to Mark Atwood, and it comes to Tom Bushnell, comes to Looking Glass, time travel, etc. But then Doc Brown sits down in his chair and he picks up this picture of Thomas Edison. He says, "Tom, how am I going to get enough power to make this work?" And 1.21 gigawatts. So again, this is another piece of the film. This is another marker that's been confirmed in the newspapers. Anyway, you had a question, but there's more. We'll keep going back and forth, but there's plenty more. So.
I want to have you decoded the name of the other?
And Marin's is 74. Marin's is 74.
Yes, my maiden name. My mom's.
And what number Super Bowl is it, Anna?
Is it 55? Oh.
Yes, well done, Brice. What's 55, Anna?
Brazil.
Melania. What's the Brazil phone number? 55.
Yes,
the boss.
Brazil. The boss is Melania, beautiful Melania. Yes, and
well, the boss comes to Trump.
Yes,
so boss is 55. Melania's name is 55, like you said correctly. Brazil's country code is 55, but when you do the boss, 33 plus 55 comes to 88. Trump.
The
boss.
And he's always pointing like this, 55,
yeah.
55.
Yes.
So
like
this
a dove.
Is important. Like a dove. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like a dove. That's like the Batman. There's markers in Batman. They do a chalk marking of Batman and Robin. It's like that. It looks like two hands.
Also, have you decoded on Patrick Mahomes, the other star, number 15 for the Kansas City Chief?
No, let me do it. So Patrick 78, which is Kennedy.
Patrick, and Mahomes is Mahones.
Sorry, so Mahones. Is that right?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So Patrick is 78, which is Kennedy, which is atomic platinum, I should say. Mahones, Mahones. Let's have a look. Mahones comes to 75. 75 plus 78 comes to 153. Okay, that's the Galactic Federation. That's also the second harvest.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a few other markers on that as well. So anyway, he comes to that. So that's cool. 75.
And he's 15. And his
number 15. Let's add that then. So number 15. Okay, that takes you to 168. 168 is that's New York City.
Trump Tower. Yes.
Trump Tower comes to 169, which is the Great Awakening.
Yes, and also we can decode on and on and on, because the thing is, this is important, Brice. I don't know if you agree, but for me it's really important, because that tells us all this information. All these pieces, they do not come randomly on the board.
No,
this is not no. So people have to understand that we are not just the physical world. We are being managed through the spiritual or the invisible, whatever you want to call it. And as long as we interact, we are working along with them, and it's going to be easier for us to understand what the path that we have to follow, especially in the moment right now that we have to choose which side we want to be, what we want to support, what do we want to be. This is the time to choose. Mm-hmm. This is something that 107 is always telling people. This is the moment to choose. We cannot just watch and have, okay, it's good to watch and to have the popcorn, okay, but we have to do our part, and our part is to collect the information and share it, because this is not mine, this is not Tom's, this is not yours, this is for the whole world. Mm-hmm. To be united again and to work along. We are, you see, you are in Atlanta, I'm in Rio, and Tom is in London. We reversed we in fact reversed. I'm sorry for the gesture, but we are doing this gesture right now, which is a gesture, right? We are pointing like this.
Yeah.
We are
President Trump does that just all the time.
Yeah, he does this all the time, because this is like we are battling the system. We are breaking the bad, right? And this is important, people, to
we're breaking bad.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad. Yes.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
There's another one here, Anna. In today's decode, I talked about Back to the Future. Back to the Future comes to 176. 176 comes to Donald Trump Jr. Okay. Now, and I talked about Back to the Future with the end of the film 131, which is Super Bowl, which is John F. Kennedy, which is Michael Pompeo. Okay, so we've got another one here. This was in today's newspaper again, in the Mirror, here in England. See what that says?
A ray of sunlight. A ray of sunlight.
A ray of sunlight, okay. Remember, the stadium is called the Raymond James Stadium, okay. Anyway, a ray of sunlight, you add it all up together, and it comes to 176, which comes to Back to the Future and Donald Trump Jr. So Back to the Future is, like I said, I've been going on about Back to the Future for ages with Charlie and with you and others. And this 131 Super Bowl, I didn't know Super Bowl until yesterday, until Liz pointed it out to us. So it's there, you know, and they've said it, they've confirmed it in the newspapers, you know, Back to the Future. I mean, you get all these weird titles. Some of them are really strange, but you work them out and they have a proper value, you know. This one here, okay, here, this one here comes to, this again was on the back of the newspaper of the Mirror. Can you read what that says?
Give him a little,
give a break. Klopp.
Yeah, Klopp, he's the manager of Liverpool. So give me a break, Klopp, okay? And they've kind of not even spelt gimme. They could have probably put an IE at the end, but they've kind of not done it quite the way they would usually. So they've done that. That comes to 155, which comes to the millennium. It also comes to President 45 as well, which we know is President Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, so President is 110 plus 45 comes to 155, and also it comes to Jesus the Son, or the Son Jesus. And it also comes to ventilators. You know, President Trump spoke many, many times about ventilators with an S, ventilators. And he's saying the millennium at the same time. Also, he was building Tesla power sources and all of the good Tesla technology. That's what they were doing and sending it around the world. But he was also confirming the millennium, because this is what this is. We're going into the millennium, and he's the Trump of the last days to usher in the millennium.
That's so important, because, you know, when you talk about saying, he said ventilators plural, not singular, because with the added S, it changes the whole value.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like everything is so meticulously designed to.
Yes.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's pretty amazing.
It is. It's amazing. It is. It's amazing.
But something that I learned from, I'm sorry, I'm always talking about 107 because he's one of my sources. Him and Jim DECODE, they are my top ones. So along with Charlie and downloads that I receive from God. And 107 always.
And my downloads, Anna, I receive them from God, and you get them from me.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, God uses you. Yes.
Sounds like you use me.
Okay. Oh.
I'm putting your legs.
Okay. So let me. You made me laugh now. But what I'm 107 is always saying we have. It's not about. We have to use the numbers to reverse the cycle, and that's why the time is so fast. Because we are really changing. This is something that came through a download that I understood. We are really changing the calendar. We are really changing time. From now on, things are going to be like, whoa, fast. Not fast. It's going to be, woo.
Yeah.
You say download, Anna. Do you know what download comes to?
No.
Comes to 88, Trump.
Oh, you see? Oh my God.
So
Everything is
if
him.
you get a download, or if you receive a download, it's Trump's 107.
Yeah.
Or download singular 88 Trump.
So yeah, and he's always perfect. And he's always explaining we need to check the numbers because we have to reverse. And this is a way for the other side to understand.
Yeah.
And we are changing the ley lines,
Mhm.
the ley lines that were put over the human,
Mhm.
over the earth to hypnotize and or to control, whatever, to manipulate something. We have to use their mechanism to reverse it. Otherwise, there's.
Yes.
And it's this last few days that we are talking about all this GameStop thing.
Mhm.
GameStop, yeah, halftime GameStop.
Yeah.
Stop the game.
Oh yeah.
Game over.
Game over.
Yeah.
GameStop is going to be a game over for Wall Street. And Wall Street, and this can go on and on, Brice.
Mhm.
Tell me if I'm talking too much, okay?
Oh no, I'm loving this.
Okay.
Here you go, girls. Have a look at this one again today.
Date fight.
What does that say?
Date fight.
Date fight. Okay, date fight. So the word date comes to 30. Okay. The word fight comes to 50, which is America, which is Donald, which is Paul, Eileen, etc., etc. That comes to 80.
Mhm.
We said earlier the word 80 comes to Pompeo. So within that you've got Donald, and you've got Pompeo as well. Also 80 comes to Spencer,
Diana.
as in Diana Spencer. And can you see the coaches lineup for the two teams? This is important as well. See that, Brice?
Yeah, I can see the Andy. I can't. It's too blurry. Is
Andy
that name? And Bruce.
Andy Reid and Bruce Arians.
Yes, that's it.
Arians?
Yes. Yeah. So Andy Reid also comes to 80.
Oh, Reid.
Oh, wow.
And I incidentally did an episode with Charlie at the beginning of this week with my friend Alex Reid, who's not spelled exactly the same, but he has the last name. And I didn't know who Andy Reid was about the Super. I'd forgotten, like Brice, I'd forgotten the Super Bowl was on until yesterday, until I got alerted to it. So, but there's a very interesting thing with the two here. Okay. President Trump has spoken about it being biblical.
Mhm.
Yeah. And a lot of people in the community are feeling maybe uneasy or anxious because we thought maybe things would happen with the inauguration, and then we went through the period of days of darkness. Now we're coming up to the Super Bowl and then into March, etc. But there's, we understand what the feeling amongst people is.
Mm-hmm.
But President Trump always said it will be biblical. So if you do this, so Andy Reid is the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach is Bruce Arians. If you do Andy Reid, that comes to 80, which we've already said. Bruce Arians, Bruce comes to 49, which is a bolt, which is green. You said earlier green. So Bruce is also bolt. Bruce is Bruce Wayne, Batman. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Arians is 62. Arians 62 is Nikola, like Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Also Queen. You can get good queens as well. Anyway, so Bruce Arians, 49 plus 62 comes to 111, which is New York, which is Londinium, which is Parthenon, which incidentally is my birthday on the 15th, well, February 15th. February comes to 96. February 96 also comes to GameStop. GameStop happened at the very end of February, end of January.
Ushering in February.
But then we're now coming into February. So the big GameStop is the month of February.
Yeah, but when something astrologically is happening right now too. On top of these numbers, we're in Mercury retrograde right now, and a lot of people think Mercury retrograde, it's bad because communication is off. But Mercury retrograde is also a time to end things. So if you have a project you've been working on, Mercury retrograde is when it ends.
Wow. How long does Mercury retrograde last for, Brian?
Like 3 weeks.
Sorry, Brice.
Yeah, you go through 3. It started at the February 1, so it started on Monday, and it'll go to like the 22nd. So usually for people,
There's
or more in
something
it.
on the 22nd too. I'm
When
sorry.
you go through a shadow, so you have the shadow before for a couple weeks and a shadow after to come out of it. For humans, it's really frustrating because you kind of feel like you're walking through concrete. You know, your technology, communication is off, but and they tell you not to sign new contracts or anything during this time period. There's 3 Mercury retrogrades a year typically, but for projects that you've been really working on a lot and stuff you've been trying to finish, it usually finishes during a Mercury retrograde. So
Nice.
when I heard everything about February being a big boom month, it was like, well, yeah, Mercury is in retrograde, so that would make sense astrologically as well. And then you're pulling these numbers out, and it's like a God wink.
Yeah, God wink. So one of them, you had Andy Reid 80, Bruce Arians 111. Together that comes to 191, which is parting of the Red Sea.
Oh,
so it's going to be biblical. Yeah. And Exodus, the book, and also the call is 88, which is Trump again. So parting of the Red Sea, Moses comes to 71, comes to Psych, comes to Lady Diana, comes to 71, comes to Moses. All of these things, you know. So I'm just looking forward to what's coming, but there's so many other codes with it.
I can tell you another thing that it's coming.
What's coming, Anna? Yes. Oh, actually, just before that one, I just wanted to say one other thing with that. So you've got the 2 teams, and then you've got the names here. So you've got Kansas City Chiefs. That comes to 172. Tampa Bay Buccaneers comes to 170. Okay. What is the missing number between 170 and 172?
171.
What?
Yes. 171 is a famous line in Back to the Future where Doc Brown says, "A bolt of lightning." And then he repeats it. When it's repeated, you know you need to make note of it. A bolt of lightning, he says it again. A bolt of lightning is 171, and it's also the revaluation.
May I confirm this with 2 new information? May I add? It's the following. On the 22nd of February, there is something related to the new QFS system, something that will be like established.
Okay.
The Ripple XRP.
Yes.
XRP, they are on the 22nd. Probably they will be launched. All the QFSs are being adjusted right now.
Okay.
Probably because of the Mercury, and they are waiting for the Mercury.
Is that a date in regards to the company Ripple and XRP, Anna, or is that something you understand?
No. No. This is something that it's on the schedule for the Ripple XRP.
Okay.
Company. Yeah. And something
in Back to the Future, Doc Brown says in episode 2, he says it says the ripple effect. They changed timelines again, and he says the ripple effect. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. And the symbol for ripple has been changed, but 6-7 months ago, it used to be. It looked like the nuclear symbol. When Doc Brown in the very first episode of Back to the Future has it on the back of his shirt when they travel in time, and that was the symbol for ripple. The other thing about ripple is it comes to the value it comes to 76. So you think 1776. 17 is Q, 76 is Ripple, 76 is Emmett for Emmett Brown. It's also Thomas. It's also Sydney, my middle name, Sydney Powell, etc. You do 17 plus 76 comes to 93, which is kingship, which is Flotus, which is Nazareth. It's also Bushnell. It's Justin. It's all those things. Saturn. We had conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter is patriots. So it's all of those, there's lots of things, but Ripple, yes, Ripple is mentioned clearly. And Stella is also mentioned in Love Actually. Liam Neeson just says, Stella. Stella is XLM. You add XLM. XLM is 49, a bolt. XRP is 58, which is Ivanka Nasara. You add them together, comes to 107, which is Trump's, which is currency. So anyway,
That gave me chills when you said 76 was Ripple, and 17, obviously we know that's Q. 1776 was the American Revolution. And I've always had this like abstract theory that
Yes.
what we're going through right now actually started in 1776 with the American Revolution, because the
Yes.
American Revolution is, America isn't, the philosophy of America is not contained just to this land. It was people from all over the world that came here to get rid of the divine right, which we call the deep state today. That it rippled out. In my theory, that when this is done, the whole world will be like under this idea that we're free people, you know, that we don't have ruling elites. And that gave me chill bumps when you said that, because that's powerful.
Amazing. Thanks, Brice. You know what? There's something I saw last night with Al Pasoni. So it was on her channel with Jason Q and with Mel K. And big shout out to all three of them. So Jason said something really interesting. I didn't know this. So you got 1776, but you'll know this more, Brice, as an American. So he said that the U.S. Army was established in 1775, and he pointed out, which was a brilliant marker. He pointed out President Trump is born in 1946, and he was born on the 14th of June. So you've got 14th of June is 146. Or 1/6. 146 is Ivanka Trump.
Oh, wow.
I've met Ivanka Trump in person. That's what my picture on my Twitter used to be until it got suspended temporarily. But so I met Ivanka Trump and I had the picture with her. That's New Jerusalem. And Jason mentioned the New Jerusalem. But he also said in 1775, the army was set up. Army comes to 57. The word 57 comes to Tesla, Nikola Tesla. It comes to the word George, hello, George. It comes to the word England, where I am. It comes to the word Wood. That's my grandparents' last name. It comes to my sister Julie, 57, etc. So you've got all of those pieces on the board. And we mentioned just a little while ago, Nikola, which is 62. Nikola Tesla comes to 119. Central Park comes to 119, all there in Manhattan. Manhattan comes to 92, which is Kronos, which is numbers. President Trump, king of the world, lives in Manhattan. Okay. But then going back to this part what Jason said, the army, he said, if you go from 1775, you go 171 years, brings you to 1946 when President Trump was born.
Yeah.
And 46 is the dove, the sign of the dove. And Jesus had that whole thing with John the Baptist, the sign of the dove, etc. And it's 171 years. 171, we've said just a few moments ago, the missing number between Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is 170, and the Kansas City Chiefs is 172. The missing number is 171. 171 years equals the revaluation, and 171 equals a bolt of lightning. And it's repeated twice in Back to the Future. A bolt of lightning, it's their alternate power source. And power comes to 77, which is Christ and Marty.
That is incredible. Like, it's like, wow, like it kind of proves that there is a God, because how else could all of this, be happening? You know?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow.
That proves that we are really in a great movie.
Yes.
But the actors, we are the actors too. Don't believe that it's only the Joe Biden team.
Oh yeah.
All that clowns over there. No, we are also living. It's all a movie. The thing is, we are all in a movie. But which part do you want to play from now on? Because
Anna, you've said it perfectly. You were right on point again. You said we're in a movie.
Thank you.
We're in a movie. And you've mentioned this movie person to me before. Okay. I just want you to read this, and I'm going to tell you the numbers on this, and you'll see exactly why I'm bringing this up, because you've mentioned this before to me. Okay. This is in the Star newspaper. Okay. Star comes to 58, interestingly enough, which is Ivanka. Is that okay? Can you see that? Is that okay?
Helen Mirren? Is it Helen Mirren?
No, it looks like her though. It does look like her. Yeah, it looks like Meryl Streep, but it's not. It's just a person. It's just a lady. But I don't know if you can read that phrase.
Is this the best part? I can't. It's blurry. Council meeting in the world ever. Paris.
Yes, you got it, Brice. You got it. Okay, so the Star is a 58, which is Ivanka, which is Nasara, which is XRP. Okay. the Star, Stargate comes to, the Star comes to 91. Okay, it's called the Daily Star, but you call it the Star. It's 91, which is POTUS. POTUS is 91. Okay, so you got real Donald Trump, you got POTUS. POTUS is 91. Okay. Oh, interestingly enough, real Donald Trump, President Trump's Twitter handle before it got taken down with the rest of us, comes to 174. In Trump Tower, you mentioned earlier, you have the escalators, and above the escalators, and above Melania's head and President Trump. Can you remember what was up there? The currency?
Is currency exchange? Yes,
currency exchange. Currency exchange comes to 174. And that comes to trust the plan. And what was I saying just before there? 174.
About a movie?
Anyway, that's what it comes to.
No, about a movie. We are all playing a movie.
Yes, Luke Skywalker is 174 as well, the chosen one at the top. So there was another marker on 174. But anyway, so 174 is currency exchange. But back to the movie, Anna. Thank you. So this phrase is quite a long phrase. Is this the parish council meeting in the world? Is this the best parish council meeting in the world ever? It's quite a weird phrase. That's quite haphazard, isn't it? It's not very clear, even the way it's written. But it's the front headline of a newspaper. Okay, so that's a clear code. Tom, go and decode it. So when you decode it, it comes up to 364. Okay. Now, I did something a week or so ago. You mentioned, you know the film The Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, of course. Yes, with the marvelous Jim Caviezel.
Exactly.
From the marvelous Mel Gibson.
Exactly. Mel Gibson comes to 96, which is February, which is GameStop, which is Atlantis, which is Kushner, right now, and also Light Table I did with Huna Flash in the week is 96. So the marvelous Jim Caviezel, I've heard he's a really great guy. He's a brilliant actor. So I also heard that apparently Jim Caviezel, he was struck by lightning at some point in his life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes, a bolt of lightning. Okay. So when you add Jim Patrick Caviezel, his full name, comes to 193. Okay. Remember, 93 is Nazareth. Kingship, Jesus of Nazareth, etc. 93. If you add 1 plus 93, it comes to 94, which is John. I had an orb appear here on 9 minutes and 3 seconds stroke 904 back in December when I spoke about the Star of Bethlehem, and it clearly moved down. So that was Nazareth, John, Bushnell, John, etc. But Jim Caviezel's name comes up to 193. But when you add a bolt of lightning plus 193, it comes to 364. And 364 is this the best parish council meeting in the world ever? So you've got the whole thing, you've got the whole Jesus theme again, a bolt of lightning. And we've already said in one of the markers in the newspaper today, one of them Breaking Bad came up to point, which is Jesus. And then we said, what's the missing number between the name of the two teams? The value of the teams. Kansas City Chiefs is 172. Tampa Bay Buccaneers is 170. The one in the middle, like you said, Brice, Banana, is 171, which is a bolt of lightning, which is revaluation. So, or the revaluation, I should say. So all of these things are constantly happening. It's like I'll do stuff in the week, things that I just kind of follow my mind. I'll do the decodes, and then I get a marker later, and it might come up months later, it might come up the next day, it might come up an hour later. It might come up 5 minutes later. But all the stuff. Oh, and the other thing about that is, the reason I did that one is that 364 comes to, let me get the exact phrase for this. I did an episode yesterday which featured the St. Paul's Cathedral in London and other places. Now, if you do, okay. Yes, here it is. If you do, so this is the does everybody know what St. Paul's Cathedral is? So it's a beautiful piece of architecture in old London, the city of London, Londinium, which is 111, which is New York, etc. Princess Diana was married there. Okay. Oh. Now, she was married there. Okay. Now, we've already spoken about Princess Diana at the beginning of this and about Q and 17, you know, the two words, Diana Spencer comes to 109, which is the word 17, which is Zapruder, which is Psych.Club. Actually, it's Saturday as well. Today is Saturday. So, you know, there's a nice bit of symmetry there. But the proper name for St. Paul's Cathedral is Cathedral Church of St. Paul's. Sorry, of St. Paul, the Apostle. So it's quite long-winded. But that comes to 364, which is that front paper. We just had that, the same one. So that you can see how this, you get 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that all circumvent and triangulate. That's only 3 sides, but they all come together and they're all constantly merging. And that's how this sort of works. The other beautiful thing about this, in terms of St. Paul's Cathedral, so I've mentioned my grandmother Eileen, but the architect for St. Paul's Cathedral was a guy called Christopher Wren. Okay. Christopher Plummer, the actor's just died, and I'm going to talk about him in a second.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. The word Christopher comes to money exchange. You've got currency exchange, which comes to 174. If you say money exchange, it comes to 139, which is Christopher. I actually get outside my place near Regent's Park, which is Trump Park. I get the 139. I don't get it. I sometimes do, not very much, but there's a 139 bus that drives past. There's also a 189 bus. 189 comes to February 7th, which is the Super Bowl day. And it also comes to my birthday, which is February the 15th, well, February 15th, which is President's Day. Anyway, going back to that, St. Paul's Cathedral comes, Christopher Wren comes to 199. My grandfather's name, Sidney Charles Wood, comes to 199. Christopher Wren was later knighted as Sir. Sir Christopher Wren comes to 245, which comes to the pure love of Christ. And it also comes to Christopher Columbus. And it also comes to Thomas Sidney Bushnell. And my cousin Paul passed, and he was the one that started to dimensionally give me the numbers, etc. And I had the experience with him in New York. And the height of St. Paul's Cathedral is 111 meters.
Which is New York.
Which is New York, exactly, Brice, yeah. Which is Londinium, Old Londinium, which is also my date of birth, February 15th, 96 plus 15. One of the ways to say it. So there's lots of wonderful parallels. Once you start, like Anna said at the beginning, once you start to see it, you just see it everywhere. And so everyone's Easter eggs, everyone's personal connections and galactic are all there. That's why it's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Now, you said that the 364, the weird phrase, that was from the Daily Star, the newspaper you said?
Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I've had quite a few videos taken down from YouTube, as we all have.
Yeah.
Congratulations, my dear. You are doing your job.
I took my Alex Reed one down. You can go and see it on Charlie's BitChute, but yeah.
Congratulations.
So, but I did one on Ghislaine Maxwell.
You're welcome to the team.
I know, right? You know, you've hit on some truth when they start striking your videos. Ghislaine Maxwell's, what did her father own? The Daily Star? Was that the newspaper he owned? Is there a connection then to the Maxwell and Ghislaine coming back and Epstein?
So ask the question again, Brice, you cut out partly.
With the 364, if it was on the Daily Star, I believe that was the newspaper that Robert Maxwell owned. If I can remember correctly from my research, would that then boomerang possibly back into Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein coming back in soon as well?
Possibly, yeah. That's a good point, actually. I hadn't thought of it like that, but yeah, quite possibly. One of the papers here that feature that story a lot is the Daily Express and the Mail. They do it quite often, and they're quite so they don't have the red light, red lighting like the sun, the star, and the Mirror. But the next ones are kind of with big headlines, as the Express and the Mail, and they talk a lot about Maxwell and Andrew, etc. Yeah. The other thing that I just forgot to, I just noticed it in my notes was we talked about the parting of the Red Sea. So I talked about the height of St. Paul's Cathedral. So it's at 111. It's 111 meters. The word meters comes to 80, which is Pompeo. Yeah. But when you add 111 plus 80, comes to 191, which is parting of the Red Sea again, which is the two coaches. So
Probably she was given in a sacrifice for that marriage. Is that the symbology?
Sorry, Anna, say that again.
When Diana married Prince Charles,
Yeah,
it was kind of a sacrifice being played out in front of everyone.
yeah. It seems like that, doesn't it? Yeah.
Right. If you have the dove.
Yeah, the dove.
The dove being sacrificed for the state, for the system. I don't know. Something that I want to bring, and I don't know if I'm talking too much, but on regards to this GameStop, Game Over, this on and off.
Yes.
This week on Friday, February the 12th, it's going to be the Chinese New Year. And this year is going to be the year of the ox. The ox, right?
Yes.
And when you
I was going to say, someone told me that recently, and then I just remembered it was you, darling.
Yes, I told you. Yes, it came.
Well, I get so many things coming in and out of it, and it's
download.
like, oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
It was also.
And I was like, oh, it was Anna.
Oh yeah. It's a download that I received. It's not mine. So I was sharing with Brice that, as she mentioned, the Mercury on retrograde.
Yes.
Right. So probably this week, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to create predictions.
Brice, that's really powerful. That's really amazing what you said there, because that makes so much. That just makes so much sense. That's really potent what you said about that with Mercury retrograde.
Yes. And because of this, I want to, let me conclude what I want to say, Mr. Tom. The following.
Stop interrupting yourself, Anna.
It's the following, Brice. On the 12th, it's going to be Chinese New Year. So the year of the ox. And the ox, when you do the gematria.
Yeah.
I'll use the Jewish gematria right now because it was a big bulk of light when I received it. The ox equals, in Jewish gematria, equals the storm.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Oh, good reminder. Yeah, there's plenty. Yeah, good.
We're still waiting for that tweet, aren't we?
And
what's
equals.
So we're still waiting for that tweet, aren't we?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I have.
It might already be out there, but yeah.
Yes. Let me. Yeah. So you have the storm, and also hidden in plain sight for the ox. So, what is the symbol for Wall Street?
The symbol.
The symbol.
The ox.
The animal.
Right.
The bull.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bull.
Okay.
The bull, the big bull.
Yeah.
So on the 12th, I'm of course this might change. I don't know. I'm not creating predictions. I'm reading the information and trying to put the puzzles together and the pieces to complete the puzzle. And
follow the twos, everybody.
Yep.
Oh, you see.
You're saying it on a very important point, Anna. Yeah, follow the twos. It's just changed.
Yeah, 22. So you see, probably this Mercury is working on Wall Street to change to reverse the way it works.
Yes.
Because in this moment, it's a
GameStop.
money. Yeah, so GameStop was used as a marker. So they need to receive a bulk of light and to reverse, and to get into to get the ripple system.
It's the ripple effect.
Inside out. Yeah, it's the ripple effect. So nothing is random. We are the actors too. Okay, we are not just watching. We are playing. Also part of this. That's why no one should be stopped and be just watching to what we are saying. No, we are simple actors in a much bigger plan. So this plan needs us all to act and to decode, because it's always talking to us. We just have to pay attention.
Well, I believe we all made agreements that before we came down here, I
Yes,
believe
we
agreed
talked
to
about
be here
this.
at this time to
Yeah.
be part of this. I believe. And I'll tell you this too. I just looked it up. So February 2021, we'll have 7 planets in Aquarius. Last time this happened, the Dark Ages and the plagues ended, and the Renaissance or rebirth began.
Yes, come on, bring it on.
I know.
Nothing.
No, last time this happened,
The Trumps are gonna blow.
yeah,
So nothing
yeah.
can stop. Yeah, nothing can stop what it's coming.
This is it. It's astrological. It's numerical. It's it's everything.
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's
This one here, ladies, is
you see, we come alive, we come joyful.
we do. It's like the sound of music. The sound of music. Christopher Plummer.
Happiness. It's happy.
You see this guy, Christopher Plummer, passed. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
91.
And we just spoke about 91. We just spoke about Christopher, St. Paul's Cathedral, etc., Columbus. So 91 is POTUS. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Plummer.
19 is Trump, Donald Trump, the president, the 19th president of the Republic.
Yeah, nice reversal. Yeah.
Yep.
And if you do 86 on the American football shirt at the beginning, the word 19 comes to 86.
Mm-hmm.
But here, so Plummer, get this one, Anna. Plummer comes to 98. Who comes to 98?
Brice.
Tom Brady.
Oh, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady and Independence, Missouri, etc. So Tom Brady comes to 98. You've got POTUS, so you've got Tom Brady, you've got plus POTUS. So that comes to 189. 189, as I said a few moments ago, have a bus 189 goes past as well as a 139, but a 189 comes to February. February is 96, GameStop. And 7th comes to 93, which is Bushnell, which is Flotus, Justin, Kingship, Nazareth, etc., etc. Those two together come to 189. Huna Flash, actually, I did the episode with Huna a few days ago. He comes to 96. Sorry, no, he doesn't. Correction, he comes to 90. Forget that. The round table comes to 96 that we did with Huna. So, but February 96 plus 93, which is 7th, which is the date of the Super Bowl, comes to 189. So Plummer, Tom Brady plus POTUS comes to 189. Then the little bit that's left is Christopher. Christopher comes to 139. 139 is money exchange. So it's these people that have been passing or been shown to us that have been passing, however, everything is pointing to this great awakening. And it all started at the Great Awakening. The Great Awakening started, all right, there might have been other times, but one of the times it started was when President Trump and Melania came down those escalators in Trump Tower. Trump Tower comes to 169, which is the Great Awakening.
Yeah, something that I want to just came to me. Have you noticed that since the Middle Ages, I would say from the Renaissance, all the arts and all the science that also came with this, and that developed through the centuries until now, we were all pushed to be much more rational and less sentimental, less as long as we have the degree and the grades and the titles, we are a good person. Okay, but this is not being a good person. Being a good person, it's if you have all of this, good for you. It's okay. So you have to use all of that in order to make all the surroundings of you, of your family, of your community, of your country, whatever, of yourself better. So somehow we are now learning in a difficult way, looking to the precipice, as 1-7 always mentioned, and having hard times. We are being pushed to be not only numbers, because numbers are everywhere, but to decode the numbers. And by decoding the numbers, we are upgrading ourselves as human beings. We are becoming much more human than we thought we were, because all the science, all the titles, all of that stuff, it's good, okay, great, but we have to feel it, to feel this information. So all that, so Super Bowl was created was created to be a distraction to everyone, but now today we are looking for Super Bowl as a marker,
as a marker conduit.
yes. And we are checking all the points, and maybe during all the Super Bowls, the previous Super Bowls that happened in front of us, all was hidden in plain sight. All this halftime shows with Madonna wearing that all that makeup, all that black and white scenario, all of that, they were laughing in front of us. So tomorrow who will be singing is Weekend.
Yes.
Weekend. And
there's numbers on the weekend as well.
Yeah, but
that a while ago, but there's numbers on that. But he has a problem.
Yeah, but he's a problem on the misspell. He doesn't have an E, one of the E's.
That's what I mean. It's deliberate. That's deliberate. American football. So the two words American football. So Brice, we said America comes to 50. So American, add an N, which is 14, takes you to 64. 64 is a few things. Anna has been alluding to this. She's been saying about reversing, because I always talk about time reversal with the film Tenet. Tenet, Christopher Nolan's film, comes to 64. Zion comes to 64.
Okay.
Israel comes to 64. And Zion, not Zionist, but Zion is known as the pure in heart. That's before things got portrayed, etc. Or the names got hijacked and spliced. But also Jubilee comes to 64.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so American football. And football comes to 83, which comes to prayer. It comes to Mount. It also comes to, we mentioned the actor Caviezel, Jim Caviezel. So Caviezel comes to 80, and he played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, etc. So American football comes to 147. 147 comes to the trump card.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah.
147.
Yeah.
Sound like Charlie Ward saying this, but you literally can't make this shit up. Like, this is unbelievable.
No, you can't.
This is unbelievable.
And guess what the word sport, in general, the word sport, guess what the word sport comes to?
What?
88, Trump.
Oh my God. That's also I actually decoded my name. That's my middle name is 88. Elizabeth.
What's your middle name?
Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's my sister Julie's middle name. So she's Tesla, Trump, Bushnell, or Nazareth, or Kingship. Yeah.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Oh, Brice, you mentioned on the email 108.
Yeah,
Why is it important for you?
I see 108 everywhere, and I know.
You know what that is, Anna, don't you?
108.
Yes, Mr. Ed Root.
No. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. It wasn't him 104? No.
No, 104 is Jerusalem. It's Snowdon. It's Hillingdon. It's the road. It's the town and road I was born in. But 108 is Mr. Ed Root. Yeah, okay. Mr. Ed Root. Mr. Ed Root. There was one that came up today on 108. So let's have a look.
I know what it is.
Get this. Okay. Yeah, Anna. Okay. Do you remember the hoverboard in Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Tesla technology.
Yeah.
And they use it right at the end scene with the train 131, and they go over the ravine, etc. That comes to 108. Hoverboard comes to 108.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's very. I spend a lot of time in India, and it's a very sacred number spiritually in India. It's different bands on the body, but I was curious about it in Gematria as well.
Yeah. It also comes to so it's the 55th Super Bowl. Okay. You okay, Anna? So it's 55, Brazil.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Melania. The word heaven is 55 as well. Sky, cloud, etc. But when you spell the word 55, it's 50 is 66, which is woman, which is happy, which is Thames, the River Thames, which is Charles. 5 is 42, which is new, which is read. 42 is also a nice symbol for time reversal, 24-hour clock, reverse it, 42, etc. But 50, which is 66 plus 5, the word 5 is 42, comes to 108, which is Mr. Ed Root. So hoverboard, again, hoverboard is pointing to Mr. Ed Root and the 55th Super Bowl. And the other thing about it is 55, so you get this. So if you do, they do it in the Roman numerals, don't they? They do L
LV.
and V. So L, if you spell it out, that's 12 plus, so LV, L is 12, the 12th letter. V is the 22nd letter. So L plus 22. So 12 plus 22 comes to 34. 34 is DJT, Donald John Trump, and also the word 1, a Neo. Yeah.
We're all Neo.
So it's Melania's Super Bowl. It's the 55 Super Bowl. Melania, her name is 55. The picture I got with Ivanka Trump and I in Manhattan, Kronos, numbers 92, just on Fifth Avenue, and Trump Tower is part of on 57th Street or something as well. 57 is Tesla, Nikola Tesla, John G. Trump, etc. John G. Trump is 13. Well, John Trump is 135. Ivana Trump, the mother of the first 3 children, is 135 as well. She was in Big Brother in England with my friend Alex Reed, who won the TV show. Me and Charlie interviewed him just at the beginning of the week. So she was on that reality TV show with him a few years ago. But 55, the picture, if you zoom in on the picture, I'll have to send it to you, Brice, afterwards. But if you zoom in, you see myself, Ivanka Trump, and then just to the side of Ivanka, you'll see a golden 55.
Oh God.
Yeah, a
In
golden
fact, it was
55.
me
That's
who
Melania.
saw it.
And it's also the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Sorry, and golden comes to 57 again, which is Tesla.
That is, you can't make this stuff up. This is unbelievable.
You can't. And get this one. So if you do a 50, okay. So a golden 55 is.
Do you read on? Do you dream on?
So
numbers?
a golden 50. Sorry, Anna. A golden 55 is 112, which is Charles Ward as well. So golden 55. So we had Melania there, we had the Super Bowl, and we also had Charles Ward there. A golden 55 is 57 plus 55. Golden is 57 plus 55 comes to 112, which is Charles Ward. Sorry, go and ask Donna.
No. Do you dream on numbers? No numbers.
I have done sometimes.
You do? Oh,
I have, yeah.
Which was the latest?
Actually, I dream numbers, but I now it's kind of, so I learned it, and then it kind of, but now I kind of, Mahoney asked me that, but now it just kind of sits with me very naturally. I just see it and I can do it, and it's and it's always exciting because there's always new ones that come in every day. You said about India, Brice, just a few moments ago. Now, Burma is close to India, or Myanmar.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is very interesting because you said, we're waiting for the tweet. Now, there might be a few of these that are happening simultaneously, but if you look at the words, so Myanmar comes to 85, which comes to storm. Okay, it used to be the old country, Burma.
Right.
Okay. Burma comes to 55. Okay. Burma is where my grandfather, Sidney Charles Wood, he fought in a few places in the war. He was stationed in Burma for a long period of time. And I made reference to him how his numbers come up to exactly the same as Christopher Wren, who was the architect for St. Paul's Cathedral, where Diana was married. If you take it further, now I've got to say this correctly. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna play it here because I did this earlier. Okay, so the capital city of Myanmar is a new city, well, a new capital, just like the country is. But this is how you say it. Oh. Naypyidaw is the capital city of Myanmar, where all this is going on about a coup and etc. Kind of an optic and a flip on. Yes. A reflection of what will be happening in America and all the other places as well.
Please, God, yes.
but Naypyidaw comes to 118.
Oh wow.
118 comes to the storm.
Yep.
So we're already seeing the storm.
Yes.
That's constantly in the news.
Yes. And also if we think about this in a while, I think for me, we are living this already for a long time. The storm is upon us. Okay, all the bad things that happen are upon us. All these bad things. So we are cleaning. We are ending this situation because we from the day one that I read the storm is upon us tweet, we all thought that, oh, they are coming in with the troops and killing everyone and jailing everyone. No, it's all right. No, the storm is the bad. The bad is upon us. So the bad is being reversed. The bad is being quietly removed.
Yes.
So no anxiety, guys. That everything's going to be, check the numbers, check the sites, and pick the puzzles, pick the pieces and make the puzzle. That's easy. When you start, that's what I said in the front, in the beginning. When you start decoding, it's going to be like decoding. Oh, okay, like this. But you have to feel it, otherwise, make your heart beat like this. So,
Brice, who played it in Atlanta at the Super Bowl? I'm trying to remember where Prince played.
I have no idea.
That's okay. That's all right. Do you remember when Prince played?
Oh, that was years ago.
That was maybe 10 years ago or so.
Yeah.
And he played Purple Rain and other. Well, I think he must have played Purple Rain and When Doves Cry, etc. You got the sign of the dove. The word and I think rain was coming down when he was playing. Actually, it was so. Purple comes to the word 88. Well, it comes to the value 88, which is Trump again.
Yeah.
So if you look at the numbers and the meaning beyond, when Prince sung Purple Rain, he was talking about Trump rain as well, not just physical rain, but the reign of Trump. Now, something really interesting about the marker of Ward 86 on the back of the shirt, Anna.
What? The Super Bowl. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
The Atlanta Super Bowl.
Was that last year? I can't remember.
Last year.
Okay, cool. Cool. Yep. So,
I'm sorry. You were talking about.
Okay, so 86.
Trump reign.
Okay, so Trump reign.
Reign is R-E-I-G-N, right?
Yeah.
Not R-E-I-N.
No, but when you say it, so that's the beauty of the language. You can say things, things, and it can mean many things. So there's also that meaning. But the other thing about that is, I've lost my train of thought now. So Trump. So that's it. So do you remember the American football shirt I showed at the beginning?
86, yeah.
Yeah, good. 86. So 86 is also the word. Well, the word 19 equals 86. So if you do Ward, which is 46, which is dove. So the name of the shirt, let me pull it up so people can see it again. So here, where are we? Yeah, here it is. Okay. So very well remembered there, Brice. So 86 Ward. So Ward again comes to 46, which is dove, which is the year that President Trump was born. The word 19 equals 86. So instead of adding the number 86, we'll add 19 this time. So 46 plus 19 comes to 65. 65 comes to Prince. So Prince was one of those guys that passed in 2016, along with George Michael, David Bowie. It was Carrie Fisher, Paul Daniels. There was lots and lots of people in that year. It was a very strange year, and it was all part of what's happening now, I believe. You know, it was all part of the lead up to it. But Kathy, my dear friend who put me onto some of the codes earlier today, she was saying, well, perhaps maybe if we don't know, we'll see what happens. But Prince, you've got Princess Diana, you've got Prince. The word, the value 65 comes to the number 7. It also comes to Andrew. You were asking him about the Maxwells and Ghislaine, etc. earlier. but also Prince, just the artist Prince, the symbol formerly known as Prince, or the artist formerly known as Prince used to go by the
name.
symbol. And symbol, guess what symbol comes to?
What?
86. 86. So if you do Ward, which is 40, which is 46, which is dove, plus 19, the word comes to 86. You bring those together, 42 plus 19 comes to 65, which is Prince. So perhaps, who knows? Maybe we'll see Prince back. I'd love to see that. But who knows?
Yeah,
who knows, you know?
But the intel that I have, it's not. He's better than us.
It's what?
He already fulfilled his journey here.
He's moved on.
Maybe. But,
no,
but anyway,
he was taken by the deep state.
Sorry?
He was taken by the deep state.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that reminds me of another one.
MJ, no. But MJ, it's here.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I was living in Los Angeles when he died. And I stood outside and watched the helicopter go over that apparently had his body in it, but now I don't believe he's dead. But I ran outside to like watch it fly over where I lived in West Hollywood in LA.
Have you noticed how many unreleased songs that MJ have? And the most beautiful songs for me are from the unreleased ones. Most beautiful. Yeah.
That's what Michael Jackson comes to, Anna. So in the Back to the Future film, Doc Brown talks about 1.21 and he says gigawatts. Gigawatts is spelled a few ways, but the way they did it for the film, and they didn't change it, is gigawatts is JIGOWATTS. Gigawatts comes to 124, which comes to New Jersey, where the Statue of Liberty physically is. It's New York, but it's just over the state line.
Yep.
It looks like it's New York, but it's literally just in New Jersey water. But 124 also comes to Michael Jackson. So Michael Jackson is in this whole thing of the trilogy of the Back to the Future films because of the gigawatts. Is the amount of power you need to create, and they say it needs to be nuclear. Nuclear is also 77, which is Christ. It needs to be biblical. And on the front of the newspaper, as I showed earlier, one of the headlines was 176, which is Donald Trump Jr., but it's also Back to the Future. And the 131 is the train for American football and John F. Kennedy and Michael Pompeo. So Michael Jackson has his piece in the jigsaw in the timeline. He's the gigawatts 124.
It's amazing.
He's a star seed. Yeah.
Do you know what, Tom, what I would love to do with you, if you would be up for it, is I would love to, in a future episode, decode historical events that have happened in our past.
Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be awesome.
I was just telling Anna before you signed on, and I've talked about this on my channel too. I don't say who he was, but my great grandfather was born into the royal family of England. His daughter, my great grandmother, ran away and came to America, and we have all of her letters. She came to America with a woman that was not her mother but raised her, and we have all the letters that woman wrote back and forth to the monarchy regarding her. The princess. And so I carry the bloodline of the royal family.
There you go.
Well, I don't know if I'm actually related to the Windsors because who the hell knows who their parents are because it's all very weird. But I know some events that happened around my great-great-grand, like Jack the Ripper happened. Some events happened. I'm very interested in like what that decode would be because I have a very spiritual connection to him. And that whole I feel like I'm kind of his voice because I believe he was killed by by his own family.
Right.
So the history books will tell you differently, but I kind of am very suspicious of Queen Victoria. So yeah, so I would love to bring you on to
Victoria, you mean?
Yeah, I'd love to.
She's one of my ancestors.
Sorry, I just did your number.
Ancestors.
Brice, so your name comes to 37. You mentioned India earlier, comes to 37.
Oh, wow.
The word like comes to 37. And also the word Greg comes to 37.
Oh my God.
And also, because have I spelled you correctly? Brice, is that right?
Yep, with an I.
And and ICE, just the last three comes to 17, which is Q. So ICE, when you see that in films and they say ICE, there were ICE patrols, weren't they, down on the wall? President Trump down at Yuma.
Yep.
ICE teams, etc. So that's Q. But also, I mentioned St. Paul's Cathedral earlier, and I only just did your numbers literally then. I didn't know what they were. So St. Paul's Cathedral in London is built on Ludgate Hill. Lud comes to 37.
Oh, wow.
So like India, Brice, Greg, etc. Gate comes to 33, which is Don.
Which is D as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then Hill comes to 41, which is King, which is Alien, which is 20 plus 21, 2021. Good, Be Good, E.T. Elliot in E.T. is 93, which is Bushnell. E.T. comes to 25, which is Jack. And also Hill, 41, comes to TSB, which is my initials. So you've got all of that going on there, but you're 37, you're Greg, you're Lud, you're India, you're like. So that's really very potent. And also Watson, I live just around the corner from Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, and it's on Baker Street, and Baker comes to 37.
Oh, wow.
And Street comes to 87, which is the stadium, which is Truth, which is Project. And you take it all back to the beginning of it all. You've got Raymond James Stadium. You've got Donald Trump Street, or Donald Trump Stella, or Donald Trump Stadium, or Donald Trump Truth.
Truth, the project, yes.
That's awesome. That's it. You said alien too, because Anna and I, we've talked about this, the RH negative bloodline, which is most of the royals. I'm RH negative, and that's like considered like alien blood because
there you go.
Factor in your blood. So
no. So you are in fact from a royal bloodline. You have the.
I'm RH negative. Yeah, I'm O negative.
Yes, so you are.
I have his. I'm the only one of my cousins. My mother has it, and my sister has it. But all of our cousins, we're the only ones that still carry that royal bloodline. And weird shit happens with that. I mean, we've talked about it. So many. I have an extra vertebrae. I have a really long tongue. I have my body temperatures between 92 and 96. Like all these crazy weird, like reptilian type things that people, I've never shapeshifted. I don't want to, but that they claim the royal family is. I've had these, and I've had, I wake up with scratch marks a lot. We've talked about that. I have had very, very weird experiences. So that was kind of my big red pill. I grew up, I always knew that we were related to the royal family. I always knew that. That was always talked about in my family. But then after my grandparents died and I started to get older, and I started having these weird side effects. And that's when it all
because you know why? Because all the symptoms, well, we are related to our grandparents, not straight from our parents. So when they are not here anymore with us in the material world, physically with us, we inherit everything, all this energy.
I mean, I have his picture over here. I think about him, my great-great-great-grandfather, because from what I understand, he was going to end the monarchy. That was his job. His plan was to end the monarchy in England. So and if you look back at the royal family, you see all these like hiccups where these people like died and you have to wonder, like, for a family of psychopaths, they're a family of psychopaths. There obviously is a few people born here and there that are not psychopaths.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like a good family can have one psychopath, a psychopath can, and he married one of the servants in secret, without telling anybody. That is my great-great-great-grandmother, and they had a child, which is my great-great-grandmother, who would have been then in line for possibly for the throne, but he did not get the permission of Victoria. And after that happened, he mysteriously, according to the history books, mysteriously died. Now, Gregory Hallett had some information where he might have actually been taken up to Glamis Castle as a prisoner. And my great-great-grandmother was born in London but her immigration paperwork when she came over to America came from Scotland. And I always wondered why the hell she went up to Scotland first. Like, why didn't she just leave from London? And when I saw that from Gregory's findings, I was like, oh, because she was sent up there with him. And he got her out of she was a baby when she immigrated over to America. He got her out of the country and he basically sent her away to Philadelphia to get away from the royal family. And the woman that took her there was not her biological mother, but she raised her. And we have all these letters that this woman wrote back and forth to the royal family to kind of keep her quiet and keep her
Philadelphia, 1776.
Mm-hmm.
Brice, what was it you said about, you said 92 to, about your blood, you said 92 to 96. What was that?
That's my body temperature in Fahrenheit, which is very low.
That's very interesting you said that, because 92 comes to your last name, Watson.
Oh.
And it also comes to my nickname Numbers, which Jack and Greg gave me. Kronos is one of the titles that Greg is claiming. President Trump lives in Manhattan, which is 92. And going back to 96 is February, GameStop,
and that's
Spaceship, Mel Gibson.
Happy early birthday. My birthday was the 4th, so I'm also an Aquarius as you are.
Ah, happy birthday, yeah.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And Aquarius, we're in the age of Aquarius, but Aquarius comes to 107, which is Trump's. And Superman. It's amazing. That's you got your numbers are brilliant, amazing. And you add them together, 129 comes to priesthood, and also 2 Earths.
That's awesome.
Well.
That is
so
awesome.
yeah.
That's
do you have
amazing.
a middle name?
Sorry?
Do you have a middle name?
Elizabeth, which is 88.
Oh, of course you said, you did say that. So 88. So that would be
BBW. Yeah.
Yeah, my growing up, they used to call me Bew, my friends. Brice.
Get this, Brice. Yeah. Okay. Okay, get this. So Brice, 37, add 92 comes to 129. Add your middle name 88, which is Trump, which is Scotland, which is purple, which is Elizabeth, which is Mormon. It comes to 217. 217. 2 weeks ago, Jack Kidd called me up in the afternoon here in England. And he said, Numbers, get yourself down to Parliament. There's been a little fire, and there was a little fire down there. Yeah, and I did some videos on it. But the interesting thing that I found was Parliament comes to 109, which is 17, the word 17, which is the words or the 2 words Diana Spencer. It's also Zapruder. It's also my channel, Psych.Club. It's also Saturday. But then you do Houses of comes to 108. And that comes to Jack Edward Kidd. And we mentioned 108 earlier, and I can't remember what it was now. I have to check.
It's Ed Root, the number that, Yeah,
Mr. Ed Root, and there was another one attached to it as well. I'm trying to think. Oh, it was Hoverboard. Hoverboard. Yeah. Hoverboard was 108. Now, what happened when I went down to Parliament? There was no fire there anymore. They did bring out a fire, and it looked it's a bit of just smoke. It was anyway. There was a tarpaulin around the bottom of Elizabeth Tower. Elizabeth Tower is Big Ben. It's the clock tower. Mm-hmm. Elizabeth Tower translates to Trump Tower because it's 88 again. So, but Trump Tower, Elizabeth Tower comes to 169, which is the Great Awakening. But you add them all together, it comes to 217. So Houses of Parliament comes to 217, which is your name, Brice Elizabeth Watson. But that also 217 also comes to Tom Sidney Bushnell, which is my name. One of the ways you can. That's how my channel says Tom Sidney Bushnell. So you may have the same value, the same name, darling.
Wow. So, wow, that's awesome. I feel very special to share your number.
I feel special to share yours. You're a royal lineage.
Well, I never say who he was on camera because I have a niece and a nephew and I have cousins and
No, I know. We can talk behind this. Yeah. We
don't want the royal family, even though I don't think they're actually here anymore. But they're quite terrifying. So yeah. That's awesome. Well, I would love to have you back on and do Jack the Ripper and do some other events that happened, or the Titanic, or any other events that happened in the past to kind of show us the trajectory of where we got to.
What happened with the tea situation in Boston,
the
which
Boston
is all related.
Because
tipping it in the water.
Yeah, they were pissed because it was a 3% tax raise. That's what pissed. Well, it was more than that. We didn't have representation in Parliament. We didn't have. I mean, that's what kicked off the American. But that was part of the frustration of kicking off the American Revolution. And it's funny. I always laugh because I have two ancestors that fought in the American Revolution, and they fought against Mad King George III, who is also one of my ancestors. So opposing forces all the time. So yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people that come from the royal family. They had mistresses and children everywhere. So there's tons of people out there that carry this as well. But yeah, I would love. I have to go though because we have to take our dog out. But
It was very fun.
That would be awesome. I'd love to do that. Yeah.
I'll shoot you an email and I will download this recording and I'll send it to you guys as well. I'm hoping to get it up tomorrow morning here before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's going to be a Super Bowl.
And
Anna, in closing, you're like this. The word super comes to 79, which is atomic gold. Ooh. And it's also William.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's my stepdad. Okay. His name is William. So awesome, guys. Well, it's been awesome, Tom. I'm so happy. I feel like you're an old friend. So I will definitely send you an email. And I will, and Anna, you're like my sister, Anna. So
we are your sister. If you were a royal, I am a royal too.
Yeah. And well, I don't believe. I think that divine. I think, in my opinion, we all have. There's some mystery to how we all got here that they're not telling us, and I think that all the different blood types have something to do with that, and I think all that will be disclosed.
Let me just do a little decode on me. As you were talking about your royal lineage, I do believe that I also have a royal lineage because my name, my whole name, comes to 261, and it equals John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bassett Kennedy.
So, oh, wow. There you go. But both of whom are probably, hopefully, going to be airing themselves, showing themselves.
So
and guess what comes to 55? JFK Jr. comes to 55 as well.
That's awesome. I can't.
We are joking about this, but the thing is, we are all the same. We are fighting the same fight, and we are the winner here is Jesus, and the winner here is the
Marins.
God. Oh, Almighty God, the Almighty God. And that's our service is for him, with him, and for him always.
Yes, and our
card comes to God, the Trump card. Trump
and our
to God.
Ancestors would be very proud of us. I'm sure all of us, our ancestors, are cheering us on because they had to live through the Matrix, and now we're breaking it. So
exactly. Oh, the Matrix comes to 118, which is the capital city of Myanmar. Yeah, did I say it right? Old Burma. Yeah. So the Matrix, the 118, the storm and the Matrix come to the same thing again.
That's amazing.
In closing, I forgot to mention alarm clock. So President Trump is 45 is alarm, clock is 44. Add them together, comes to 89, which is virus and palladium. So the virus was the alarm clock. So alarm clock was virus, but when you do the alarm clock or the virus, it comes to 122, which is millennium, which is Kansas City, and they're playing tomorrow.
And they will win. Probably they will win. This is my bet.
My hope is that neither one of them win, and and
we just see the big party.
Yes, humanity.
I'm still on the Matrix.
The waters and all this.
Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry, I came to the past, to the Matrix. I'm sorry. Yeah.
What a halftime show that would be, right?
Oh, there's a code on halftime show actually. I did that.
Brice, we are not letting you go. I'm sorry.
We'll let you go in 30 seconds, Brice. Halftime show.
You're going to edit it.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Brice?
I'm going to put it all up. This is awesome.
Oh.
Okay. This is what it comes to, Brice, Anna. So the halftime show comes to 172, which is Kansas City Chiefs. So the halftime show, 172 equals Kansas City Chiefs. So we will see. We will see what happens.
Well, I kid you not. If something crazy comes down tomorrow, I'm going to be like, telegramming you guys and be like, jump on live now.
And halftime, forgot to say this, ladies. Do you remember one of the clips I showed, one of the messages from the newspaper? One of them added up to, it's Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad added up to 74, which is Jesus, which is Marins, which is President Trump's age, which is London. But also, halftime comes to 74. So we had halftime on the back of the newspaper as well. Halftime, Breaking Bad. And I've met Walter White and anyway, Bryan Cranston. But anyway, halftime is 74, which is Jesus. But also half, get this, half comes to 27. 27 comes to JFK. 27 is also the Egyptian Trinity Templar kingship number, which Greg taught us. So thanks for that, Greg. And then time is 47, which is John. It's also atomic silver. It's France. France, the capital of France is Paris, which is 63, which is the year of JFK. And in 63, he was age 46. 46 is Ward, the back of the American football shirt. And so it's a lovely circle of events and numbers. So, you know. Yeah,
and the same city where Diana was supposedly
exactly. Good. Yes, exactly.
Yes, after coming out from the hits.
And Mohammed Al-Fayed was very good friends with Michael Jackson.
Wow.
So Dodi Fayed's father, Mohammed Al-Fayed, Egyptian Trinity Templar. Yes, he was very good friends with Michael Jackson, so much so that he used to own Fulham Football Club, which is on the River Thames. River Thames comes up to 138, which comes to Donald Trump, which comes to revaluation, which comes to the Savior, the English way of saying it with an I, the Savior. But there was a statue, a real life statue, so it was actually coloured, that Mohammed Al-Fayed, Dodi's father, who was with Diana at the time, had outside his football club, Craven Cottage, Fulham Football Club.
Wild.
And who the current manager is, Scott Parker, who I know. Hello, Scott. Scott comes to 77, which is Christ. Anyway, we could go on and on, but you see how all this all works, you know?
Just all connected. Well, this is so fun. I've had so much fun. Thank you so much, Tom, for all your work and your decoding. This is awesome.
Thank you, Brice. Thank you, Anna. It's been a pleasure, girls.
Thank you.
I look forward to doing this again with you soon.
I'm here weekly, okay? You just make the schedule. I'll come here.
And if everything changes this month and we're getting our 19th president on March 4th, I am inviting you both to come to Atlanta. And
Thank you. The same Same here. Same here in Brazil. Yes. Brilliant. Same here.
All right, guys. Well, have a wonderful evening. I know it's late for you, Tom. So I will talk to you guys soon.
Thank you very much, Brice.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Brice. Bye-bye.